Hello and welcome to This Is. We're living in a utopia of tech.
I have nothing but a 100-foot tall Tim Cook staring me straight in the face right now, and I'm kind of out here for it.
We've all seen the Vision Pro, but who cares about it? Because I don't.
Oh,
He really wants daddy uppies right now.
Is Tim Cook Ultraman size?
Hey, pick me up. Today, we're going to be discussing some of the tech that we don't want to come back. Now,
The first one is what's on your face.
It's not even gone. It has to be gone before it can come back. So look, there's a lot of tech out there that is awful, terrible, and the worst. But there's also lots of things that we miss. This is going to be in the former category.
Dial-up internet.
Hold on, can I do a dial-up impression?
Yeah. No one loved it when your mom would yell at you to get off AIM because she was getting a call from grandma that would last for 4 hours.
Dial-up was very loud. I was not supposed to be on the internet almost ever. I would play like Steppenwolf or something real loud on my crappy like speakers on my computer so my mom wouldn't hear. But in hindsight, I realized it was very suspicious because I only played music loudly like for a minute at a time. When I was connected to the internet, I would turn immediately right back off because I was not the brightest child. It's actually really clever tech. Like the fact that the internet worked over telephone lines in any kind of reliable way, a very slow way. But that was legitimately cool tech.
And the number one internet provider was AOL America Online. So they would send you free demo discs in the mail. Some guy outside a store would shove one of these in your face. I mean, it was fun. It was hip. It basically was like Nickelodeon looking.
Look, we don't want dial-up internet to come back. AOL, though, it was all right.
I kind of want AOL browser. Like, if AOL could come back and make a browser.
Remember keywords?
That was everything was like, oh, look this up, keyword
Keyword
this. And
this,
I'm like,
yeah.
Just tell me the website.
Well, because there was only 6 websites, so like, is what we're going to again.
I remember talking to my dad, I'm like, Dad, when we get the internet, I can't wait to go to every single website. He goes, no, you're not, son. No, you're not.
Someone's going to be commenting me like, I live in Devils Lake, North Dakota, and I still have dial-up.
I watch all of your videos on 2P.
This video is sponsored by Squarespace.
In a world of generic social media profiles, it's time to stand out. Show how legitimate and serious your brand is with a gorgeous website from Squarespace.
Whether you're a content creator, small business, or you just want to build a custom interactive shrine to Shrek, which is what I would personally love to do, Squarespace has got you covered.
With hundreds of flexible templates, it's easy to find something that fits your specific needs and make it work for you. And you don't even need to be an IT wizard. Squarespace's fluid engine drag and drop interface makes it super easy to create exactly what you need.
Now we've made a little page for This Is. There's unfortunately a lack of swamp activities in this, but the good thing is with their super simple built-in store, we can sell tons of Shrek hats, copyright.
I don't think we're allowed to do that.
Well, it's fine, but you know what? With Squarespace, hypothetically, you can sell your merch, content, or even your time. It is the most flexible setup possible.
Check out squarespace.com/thisis for your free 14-day trial and 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. And again, huge thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. In the early 2000s, it was hard to brush your teeth. The American Dental Association had said you should sing a song in your head so you know how long to brush your teeth for.
What's your go-to song, Matt?
My humps. Yeah.
I'm with it.
Oh, brother, this guy.
It just used your teeth to conduct music into your brain. Everyone wants to hear music, but no one has time for the full song. That was like the motto of 2007.
You know the radio edits? Those are too long. 2 minutes for a song?
Yeah.
Get out of here. I need 30 seconds. I'm sure we're going to look back on 2023 and think, wow, look at all the dumb things we used to do. Now,
Like
I can't
wear
think
a Vision Pro during a video.
What? I'll be
I
tuning.
want to address the elephant in the room. Why are you wearing that?
Hang on, let me just pull the elephant and I'm just going to put it on top.
Okay.
He's going to sit on your head, right? You have an elephant on your head now. Please don't make that noise.
Tape recorders.
Okay, now hold on, Kinsey. Hold on. Are you trying to tell me that tape-based camcorders should not make a return? I'll be real. As someone who's spent the last couple of years slowly but surely digitizing a whole bunch of Super 8 like home videos and stuff, there's a real charm to this. I could record This Is using a tape camcorder.
It's good for skateboarding videos and that's it.
The thing that should come back from tape recorders is Firewire. That it slapped.
USB-C, get out of here. I want my Firewire!
Firewire! PSN's silly era.
If you play the PlayStation 5 now, you're getting a great experience. You got yourself a powerful console, you play with all your friends, you got crossplay, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, go back to PS3 era. That was so bad they couldn't even charge for it.
A lot of people get pissed off like, hey, remember when PS Network was free? I wish that could come back. No, you don't.
But the biggest problem was in 2011, when they had an outage that lasted 23 days, during which all 77 million users' data was compromised.
Whoops. What they did is like, we sorry. Can I give you some crappy games? Everyone's data was stolen. Every credit card, every username, every password, everything. That's how they kept it free, was just like, we're not gonna do things like have security. The PlayStation Network LOL era. Lots of lawsuits.
As they say, you get what you pay for.
It was free, and I still think I deserve my money back. Radium clock dials.
Oh, wow. Okay, we're going back to the 1920s. Now, I'm sure you're all familiar with glow in the dark. Remember I had that shirt that glowed in the dark?
Wait, Matt.
Yeah.
I got an idea. Okay.
It was hilarious. There were a lot of up things that everyone used to do in the 20s and the 30s. X-rays to see if your shoes fit. And then the X-ray operators would turn into a Fallout character.
Radium was great because they said, you know what? We have a glow-in-the-dark substance right here. And it only glows in the dark because it's highly radioactive. But then it was so much worse for the factory workers. They had to brush on and paint these little dials with radium. The big, poor factory owners can't spring for water for all these guys. It's just how would they ever pay for their stuff? So they just told the factory workers to lick the brushes to moisten them. Just
radioactive. That sounds like a joke, and it's not. The good thing is, we're now a more civilized, understanding society. Thankfully, nothing we do on a regular basis has any negative effects at all. There's no potential downsides to, spending a lot of time on screens, incorporating screens in your life in every possible way.
I can't stand him. Call me, beat me if you want to reach me.
Call me, beat me if you want to reach me.
Before texting, we had just receiving a numeric number of messages you can't respond to. Kinsey once a day texts me 187.
Oh, no.
For those of you who didn't grow up with a pager, that just means you're dead.
So can I ask a question?
It's a threat, by the way.
I never owned a pager. You would call someone's pager number and then dial a couple of digits on your phone.
Yeah.
And then when the pager would receive it, it would hear the beep,
the text
beep, beep,
tones.
boop.
And a lot of pagers would have like a quick guide on them.
I'm
So
looking this up.
303 was
I don't
stop
trust you.
playing.
121 is a need to talk to you. 143 is I love you.
There's
That's
a
a real
ton of
thing.
dirty
What's
ones.
304?
I don't care.
Oh. If you paid for a service, you could call like a person on the other line and actually give a message.
Hello, can you please text my friend Ho? Thank you.
That is exactly how it happened.
All right, I'm just double checking.
So we have text messages now. It's just like text message is just a better version of a pager.
Oh boy, big facts up in this one, huh? Matt, cast your mind into the future. You know, every time you go to the post office to send a letter to your mom, telling her how much you love her, and maybe a little story about how you were hanging out with Nibbler the other day, and you actually took a tinkle, and it was a little bit weird, but you cleaned it up. Well, instead of writing that on a physical piece of paper, and then putting an envelope, licking the envelope, putting a stamp on it, you could put it in a machine, hit a button, and go, and it would spit out on the other side immediately.
You know all those forward this along to some 10 people or you'll be cursed with bad luck? You also did them on the fax machine. There was a lovely one going around that people would just text random fax numbers, just being like, hey, if you see someone driving without their headlight, they're a gang member about to drive and steal all your Panasonic DVDs with their Skylines. I was trying to do a Fast and the Furious joke.
I would vote that we destroy all the fax machines, and then we can be nostalgic for them in 10 to 20 years.
YouTube
All right,
replies.
Whoa. Hold on a second. Kinsey, we're taking this off the list. Back in the early days of YouTube, there was this thing called video responses. Now, these are great because you could watch a Phil DeFranco video in 2007, and then you could make a response to him telling him why he's wrong. The great thing about this was it would be a great way to get yourself some sweet views because it was part of the community, it was part of the conversation, It would show up in the recommended videos, you get tons of views, it was awesome. Why are we not all making reply videos right now? It's basically
Well,
like a
Reply
reaction
Girl
video.
237472 has something to say about that.
I forgot about that.
People having the ability to comment on YouTube videos is already bad enough. Let
People should
alone
stop
like
talking. Basically, how this all went downhill was there would be this phenomenon called reply girls, where basically it would just make a bunch of responses. It would completely take over the recommended videos, and it would just be like a 1-minute video. I'm like, blah, 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 blah. This wasn't actually like a crazy feature. The problem was it was completely abused when people realized.
Yeah.
And instead of trying to like tweak it or whatever, YouTube just shut it off.
Tiger Electronics handheld games. Now, how dare you?
These were not real video games. Like,
What are you talking about?
These descended from an era of like electronic games, but not like actually digital ones, if that makes sense.
And they were all single-use games. So, like, there's a lot of, like, football, baseball. I had a Power Rangers one. There was no actual objective. It was just, like, avoid this, avoid that. You got pretty much the exact same level of gaming as you do with, like, the Chrome offline dinosaur game.
Tiger's most well known for their low-end handheld electronic game systems with LCD screens. Each unit contains a fixed image printed onto the handheld that can be seen through the screen. So basically, it would just individual segments would
There,
sort of like
the
light up.
background was just a regular picture.
And as you press the button, different elements would turn on. This would be much easier if you could actually see what I'm seeing in the Apple Vision Pro, which is a Game & Watch, 100-foot tall, hanging out with Tim Cook.
These were the equivalent of a mobile game. Yeah.
Except instead of in-app purchases, it was, hey, give me $30 and you can play this thing for 5 minutes and be
Yeah.
bored.
Yeah. Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah, mini disc shouldn't come back. Matt, mini disc was dumb. Imagine a CD, except mini. Ew, gross. I don't even have a mini disc slot on my Apple Vision Pro.
Dude.
Probably put it in here.
Yeah, just
slot right here?
little spot right there. These were introduced in 1992 by Sony. The only copy of my first band, the only copy of our first album, is on mini disc.
That is so thematically relevant, Matt. You
Like-
have no idea.
If you want to hear Back for Seconds, Who Wears Pants Anyway, you have to go to a museum, get a mini disc player.
Matt, you guys, we're going to need a demo of that. Like, we need a sample of that as background music for this video now.
Listen, guys, I've been running on E for quite some time now. That was lyrics to the band. But
Oh, God, you're actually quoting yourself?
Yeah.
Gross. No part of that should be brought back. We should leave it all in the 90s where it belongs.
that was the 2000s.
Oh, okay, even worse. If you're familiar with the old school light bulbs, these were using little bits of filament that would get superheated, and basically they would output light, but realistically, the vast majority of the energy that went into them was just dissipated as heat. These things were like burning your house down to keep warm. Like, it was just, they look cool. What?
See if I can get this out. No, something tells me that I might not be able to get that out.
Where things got scary with incandescent light bulbs was working in film. What would happen is, like, when you want to change the bulb in a film light, which was, you know, hundreds of watts, whatever, you had to wear gloves. The oils on your fingers would be on the glass of the bulb, and those oils would heat up. If you've ever made anything in a fryer, that you see how it goes all blah, 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 it would superheat that part of the glass of the bulb, and then it would explode. And I don't mean like, I mean,
They look cool, and I will say, there's definitely a certain vibe to like a real incandescent light bulb.
give me cozy real quick. So this is what we get with LEDs, but the vibe for incandescence was just so much cozier. It just was so much better.
But here's the thing,
also
you just
LEDs.
yeah, we just used our LEDs
Okay,
to turn
well,
yellow to look like
okay.
it's like in the future.
Don't bring them back, but bring back the vibe.
Cozy. The N64 controller. Picture this. The mid-90s are here. The 3D revolution is upon us. And it's time for the genius minds of Nintendo to imagine the next decade of controller technology. That Super Nintendo, that NES, that basic little pad, it's no good when you have to control in 3 dimensions. So what do? Whatever the fuck this thing is.
I can't believe that someone at Nintendo drew this up, gave it to his boss. That guy gave it to his boss's boss, and then it made its way up the chain. And they went, you know what? Most people do have 3 hands.
It was impossible with this controller to hold all parts of it at once.
What if we played together?
Trigger. I'm dying. But thankfully, Nintendo learned their lesson here and never made another dumb controller ever again.
Do you remember Ask Jeeves?
Yeah.
In 2006, someone said, I like the idea of Ask Jeeves, but what if we could ask real people? So what you could do is a desktop and SMS-based system where you could ask a question and a real person would answer that. You just signed up and be like, all right, I'm gonna answer questions. And you got like a couple pennies per answer.
So basically, you were paying people to Google it for you.
Yes, but they were specifically discouraged from using Google. But everyone just was using Google anyway because
No, they used
Ask
Bing.
Jeeves sucked.
They used Bing, and then things went really downhill. Because like the core idea is good, but guess what? 20 years later, we've got chatbots, which are powered by AI, which are basically doing something better, I would assume, far faster, and you don't have to pay a couple cents.
Because actually, Cha-Cha was free, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
free for the user. You would just text. It
Yeah.
was just however much it cost to text.
Can you do the cha-cha, Matt? Can you play us out with the cha-cha?
Take it back now, yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Thank you very much for watching this episode of This Is. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and ringling the dingling button. I will be wearing the Apple Vision Pro on this channel for the rest of time now because I need my
Wanna
100-foot Tim
punch
Cook.
you in the face so
he's looking down
hard.
and he's smiling at me.
You have to say cat. People will start unsubscribing.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I'm
What?
unsubscribing from this.
What's wrong with this?
Like, follow, subscribe, and we'll
You
catch
can't
you in
even
the
see
next
it.
one.
It's like a Google Glass, right? Like you can see my eyes. I'm realistic. I'm really here.
No one can see your eyes.